All right, so the Buffalo Bills are back, kind of, right? Because it wasn't like a completely perfect showing. Really, what I want to talk about is the Bills' offense. That's the more fascinating situation of what's been going on this season. Their defense has been awesome all year, although now Tre'Davious White is out for the year, which that just sucks. I mean, like losing such an important piece of your defense. We won't get too much into that, but that's a really frustrating situation. But in terms of the Bills' offense, I want to talk about, they did a lot of good stuff. I think kind of what's fascinating is we've seen this with so many different teams now. Teams play cover two against a certain team, and then that team really struggles. And then, whether it's Kansas City, whether it's Tampa Bay, whether it's Buffalo, you have to figure out ways to counteract it, and you have to become a more complete offense. In today's NFL, we're kind of always talking about throw the ball down the field, 50-yard bombs. A good play is one where you chuck it down the field, and that's true, but against certain coverages, it's not. And teams are playing those coverages more, that they're also waking up to the analytical side on the defense. So let's get into the film and talk about what the Bills did well and even some of the flaws. So something like this I like. I like stuff like this, where what you're going to do is, this is going to be a running play, and I show the blocking concept on the screen, but what's really fascinating about this is it's not just going to be a handoff. Now, the handoff could work. You can gain some yards that way. However, instead, what Buffalo is going to do is they're going to fake a handoff to the offense's right, and then instead what they're going to do is have Josh Allen take the ball himself and run to the left. This can kind of get, the closest unblocked man is still pretty far away, so you're probably going to be all right. But especially with the offensive line pulling over, this can make things work very well, and it gets you an extra blocker because you have the fake. Watch how you do this, and it is going to work out. You're going to easily pick up the first down. A lot of people say when you're playing cover two, what you want to do is you want to run with the football. That's why everyone was accounted for even without the extra blocker with the halfback. But when you throw that in, it can make things even easier. So having a quarterback like Josh Allen who can move with the football, having him run more against cover two, that's going to be maybe one of their key ways to success. Also, stuff like this, where what's going to happen on this play is that it's a way to beat cover two. You have, cover two zone that the Saints are in, and you're just going to run underneath stuff. You're not going to try to get all of the yards at once. But if they're going to give you 5 to 7 yard plays, you just continue to take those until they stop giving you those, and then you try to push the ball down the field. Watch how this is going to be open quickly, and Allen makes a quick throw, and you're able to pick up actually close to a first down on that one. The Saints will just give you that kind of stuff because they're playing over, to not allow anything over the top. That's what teams in general have been doing. That's what Jacksonville did. And had the Bills been better at getting this kind of stuff to happen, they would have had more success. It can also set up things like this, where this is going to be a man coverage play. It's a 3rd down and 2. And again, what are the Bills doing? The Bills are running the ball effectively. And we always hear it get talked about. It's a cliche at this point of, you run to set up play action. Play action works better when you run the football and when you run the football effectively. And while there have been reports saying that you don't actually have to run the ball effectively to run play action well, it still does help to run play action well if you are just running the ball in general, whether it's effective or ineffective. So, of course, I don't think you should establish the run just to establish the run. I think it should be part of a bigger plan, and there are times when it doesn't make sense to establish a consistent running game. There are times when it does, and this is one of those times, because now the Saints are going all out to stop an inside handoff. So what they're going to do instead is run a play action, and I've circled 2 players because those are the 2 guys you're really going to want to watch on this one. Watch how when Josh Allen, fakes a handoff right here, you look downfield, and the corner who's supposed to be covering Gabriel Davis on this play, he just moved so far in because he wants to help stop a run. You've established the run successfully, so now you can run play actions off of this. So then Allen can throw the ball down the field, and they're able to pick up a big chunk play. A lot of people might say with stuff like this, oh, so Josh Allen, he's not really doing much. It's basically just he's handing the ball off, or he's running the ball himself, or he's throwing to open guys. But these guys are getting open, and the running lanes are getting open because of the threat of Josh Allen. Sometimes in football, you got to be a decoy, and Josh Allen is a pretty good one in terms of the deep down the field threat that he just possesses on every play. Got to show this one now because I'd be dismissed if I didn't show at least one of Stephon Diggs' great routes he ran during this one. So I'm going to circle right there. It's man coverage, one-on-one. watch what's going to happen. As you see, right when this play begins, there's a play action, and Diggs is, so good at this stuff where he's going to fake as though he's running over the middle, and this is a pretty good fake. I mean, he's getting the corner to turn his hips towards the middle, so and that's Marshawn Lattimore, so not a bad corner by any means. But what's going to be really impressive about this play from Diggs isn't just getting him out of position, because that is impressive, but it's really going to be how quickly he takes advantage of it. I mean, watch him just be able to step close to the outside, and he gets wide open right there. So that's part of what made this work as well, is you have someone like Diggs who they just didn't really have too much of an answer for. So if you start doubling him, that opens up stuff for other guys. And, the Bills, they haven't had a ton of success against man coverage, but I thought they had better success in this game against New Orleans. Does it say more about Buffalo or more about New Orleans? I kind of say it says something about both. Now, we'll show the interceptions. This is the first one. I can't exactly tell what coverage it is, to be honest. I believe it's quarters, but I could be wrong. That is kind of a guess. But my guess is what happens is that a New Orleans player just read the coverage and he jumped in front, or read the concept, I should say. He knows what coverage it is, knows the kind of concept Buffalo might try to beat that kind of coverage, and so he stepped in front and was able to get the interception, which is a good read. But this stuff kind of will happen when a team, you know what coverage the defense is in, and they know that you know what coverage the defense is in. This kind of stuff can happen. Also, with the other interception, this is going to be kind of a fluky play. There's some contact, and that results in the throw getting disrupted and ends up getting intercepted. That doesn't happen too often. That is a bit fluky and a bit unfortunate that because of the contact, the ball happened to go straight to a New Orleans player, or at least in an area where only a New Orleans player could get it. That's also a little bit fluky, but that's also kind of the point of the defense. Like, when I watch this game, I don't think to myself, well, I guess you can't play this coverage. In fact, I think to myself, okay, this is still the coverage to play Buffalo because of largely these two plays. I know there's an element of flukiness really in both of them, but that's kind of the whole point, is that you have to run more plays on offense where more fluky bad things can happen. It's more difficult, more often a fluky play is going to go against the offense than for the offense. Usually when an offense gets the ball down the field, it's because they do something good, or maybe the defense does something bad, whereas, a randomness thing tends to be a turnover, or maybe you could argue like a holding penalty or something, but I wouldn't consider that fluky. So that's the logic, is make them run 12-play drives, and for Buffalo, they're just going to have to continue to get better at these 12-play drives, but this is a massive step in the right direction. Getting to be able to move the ball down the field consistently, that's always going to help. Of course, what also helps is force your opposing offense to just 3.3 yards per carry. That's going to get it done, especially when they're a team that runs the ball well, and they only had 44 rushing yards in this game, and they ran the ball. Like, it wasn't like they didn't run the ball a lot, but I guess, the Tony Jones Jr. Side of things didn't work out the way they hoped. They were low on running backs, so that factors in as well, and they don't have their starting quarterback. So you could argue there's, you beat a banged up New Orleans Saints team, but still, you beat them the way you're supposed to beat them, 31-6. That's a dominant win. And for Josh Allen, again, the numbers are pretty good, except for the two interceptions, 23 for 28 with 260 yards. So a lot of yards per attempt and 4 touchdowns. Just the 2 interceptions is the only downside. But again, one of those was fluky, and the other one was a good defensive play. So how much do you really want to blame him? That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.